Okay, in this video I just want to cover a subject that's been discussed recently in the trading room that I run. Now, do you actually rate your trades? So are you actually giving yourself a different score depending on the setup of the trade itself, the time of the day, whatever it might be? Do you have a method of rating your trades? Also, do you actually rate your trades before you trade them, or do you look afterwards and rate after they've been traded? Now, I've got this old thought process here, which might be different to some of you, but it's well worth giving some consideration to when you're trading. You should understand before you're trading the probability of your strategy. So you should understand it. So it will have a rating. You know the probability of it. But do you then, because you've rated it beforehand, trade more on one setup which is on the same strategy than another one on the same? So you've got the strategy set up, whatever it may be, your XYZ strategy. Do you trade it more heavily sometimes, more money on sometimes, less on other times? So do you vary things? And then after you've taken them, how do you rate them? This is a really valuable point of actually trading, is rating them, rating and looking at things after you traded, including and most importantly the winners. We discussed today about having winning streaks and losing streaks, and people tend to go back and look at the losing streak to see what went wrong. What they don't do is go back to the last winning streak and see what went right. And often for me it's quite often quite simple. I sort of switch and I become a little bit more biased towards 1 hourly time frames as opposed to the 4 hourly. And when I get back towards the 4 hourly, generally things swing back and I get back on that meteor winning rate. So some thoughts for you here. Would you bet on a three-legged horse in a race? The answer is probably no. But in that case, unless all of your strategy is a four-legged horse or is good, why would you vary it? Why would you trade it anything different to any other time? Now, you could say, well, because there's news coming out. Well, it's effectively taking one of the legs off your horse, isn't it? So the question is, would you bet on a three-legged horse? The answer is probably no. Yet we see traders all of the time saying, well, I'll go in a little bit more with that. I'll only take half a position. And look, before you think, oh, here's this, all right, him saying that, but we've all done it. I've done lots of analysis in the past where I've looked at my trades, I've looked at other traders' trades, and they vary the position size, not because of the stops, but because of they're thinking, well, this is a really good one. I'm rating this. It's going to be a really good trade. I'll go full size, or I'll do a 2 times here. I'll risk 2% on this. I'll put a bit more in this one. It's such a good one. Realistically, we don't know how any of them are going to set out and or happen. So we should stay consistent right the way across the board. Consistent with the strategy you're taking. It should be consistent position sizing. If it's around news and you think the news is going to affect it, if you've done your analysis and news has been shown to affect it, then you shouldn't be trading it. So there you go, the three-legged horse. A very important thing here, and sometimes it's easy to slip into this mentality, but professional trading is not about having a punt. We're not just having a little bit of a bet on something that's got a high risk, and it's, let's just if you get into that sort of point where you're literally just having a punt all the time, so what's it giving you? Maybe the excitement of being in a trade, the pleasure when it wins and gives you a great return. But what happens when it all goes wrong? You've just wasted some money, and if it's it was a daft thing to do. You feel stupid sometimes doing it. So professional trading, don't do it. Simple, really. And I've already hit on this point, but you should know the probability of your strategies. It's probably the most likely thing that people haven't got a clue of. They follow blindly quite often. They don't do any testing of their own, so they don't know what things are going to be like. So effectively, you're starting off quite often trading racing, betting on three-legged horses. Many of them two-legged horses. I've seen some of the strategies out there, and they haven't. They've got a best chance of about 30% with a win rate of 1-to-1 or something like that. They're absolutely ridiculous. But people will still carry on trading without understanding the probability of their strategy. So there you go. Just some thought. It's Friday. I just thought, well, Friday the 13th. You been trading today? We've had a little trade. It's currently the strategy puts us to break even when it hits a certain point. So we're sitting there break even at the moment. We're just letting it run. So yep, we're in there. I didn't care what day it is. It's not a three-legged horse day on a Friday, whether it's a 13th or any other day. So there we go. We know the probability of the strategy, and that's all we're trading. Okay, I'll leave you with that thought. Pop your notes below if you feel like it, having a chat. If you like these sort of videos, give me a thumbs up, please. And also, why not make sure you don't miss any in the future? Just make sure you subscribe to my channel. Okay, take care. Have a great weekend. Catch you next week.